All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we would like to give our praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakafadash. Double honors to the elders and our apostles, the great millstone, taught us his truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. I'm the brother Ivan Lump, you're joined with. We come back at you with another lesson. It's a lot of things going on around, the planet Earth, around the four corners of the Earth. But mainly what? We have the obviously, the coming of the MOTB, but ultimately what? World War III. You have World War III building up, and we know this is the true war to end all wars, once those missiles are let loose. So we got the first scripture on deck. This is the book of Matthew 24:6. It says, "And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled." It says, "For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Right, we're seeing that right now. We're hearing the wars and rumors of wars. You have China, talking about invading Taiwan. You have you got North Korea making threats towards America. You have Russia making threats towards America. You have America, kicking back towards Russia. The whole situation with Russia and the Ukraine. It is so much going on around the planet Earth. World War III is building up. But it says, but must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And why is that? The end is not yet because what? We still have one more major prophecy to come to pass, and that's the MOTB. Missiles won't be flying unless that MOT come to pass first. That C-HIP needs to come to pass first before anything happens, But we're seeing a constant building. The Lord, YAHAWASHI, is constantly building, up World War III.
And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places." Right, not trying to get off topic, because you're seeing the increase of earthquakes in diverse places around the world. You're seeing the increase of famines and pestilence. You're seeing the world-breaking droughts. You're seeing these nations are rising up against one another. And then you've been seeing these nations doing these military joint exercise drills. That shows you a sign right there that they gearing up, preparing for war, which is in that book of Joel 3:9. Wake up the mighty man, because we seeing the mighty man of these nations.
And it says in verse 7, what you just read, said kingdom against kingdom. So you're going to have China against America.
Yeah.
You're going to have Iran against America. You're going to have Israel against Iran. You're going to have America's allies against Russia's allies. That's that kingdom against kingdom.
Yeah.
But ultimately it's going to be what? It's going to be a nuclear war. They're going to be shooting missiles at each other. So let me get that. I'm gonna get that Joel 3:9. This is the book of Joel 3:9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles." It says, "Prepare war, wake up the mighty man." The mighty man is the different military troops around the world in these different armies. Those are the mighty. Those will be considered what? Your mighty men. It says, "Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." Meaning what? Come up to where? Because what? YAHAWASHI is bringing all these nations down into the valley of YAHAWASHI, which means the Lord's judgment. That's over there, what? In the Middle East.
And that's why you got, okay, it was just recently, I said about like 2 days ago, you had, United States was tussling with Saudi Arabia over the oil spill, That's, shows a sign of war right there between the nations and different kingdoms. Because it can be many different types of war. It can be an economic war, reference to Elder Malcolm always mentioned, the economic war. And then it could be many different types of wars too, be political wars, agenda type wars, and it could be many different types of wars. It's not just only one plain war thing, even though World War III is the beginning of end of all, but you're gonna have commotions of wars, wars and rumors of wars between the different nations and different kingdoms and stuff like that. And what's going on in North Korea, what they firing their missiles, that's they let the weak say I'm strong.
Yep.
You're seeing these military drills, these training drills, these military exercise drills, these military training ground troop drills. Was recently they had over there, it was ground troops with Taiwan and China troops, ground troops. And then you got the simulation type drills attacks with Israel, because Israel and Iran can't stand one another. Those Ishmaelites and those Edomitish type Israelis, they can't stand one another. So that goes to show you what the increase of build up of this Third World War, and to get into that Valley decision, Yahweh's decision in the Middle East, like the brother Adam Warmier just said.
Yeah, and also, the different sanctions, And the gas, I believe it's what the gas line over there. You know that Europe is finna. A lot of those people in Europe is finna freeze to death. You know because of the sanctions that the back and forth between Russia and America. You know, I'm gonna finish up this Job. I'm going to verse 10. It says this is the book of Job 3:10. Joel 3:10. Joel 3:10. It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." Right? What are they building? These thermonuclear missiles. You know. It says, "Let the weak say, I am strong." All these different countries, these smaller countries that America used to bully, you know, have what? Nuclear capability now. You know they're having the technology to be able to create these different weapons. You know that YAHAWASHI putting it into the minds of these scientists to create. You know, so this is going to be a nuclear war. As the brothers always say, these missiles are not getting made to be put in a museum. Every single missile is going to be used. Because I believe it's in the Revelations also that 200,000 missiles are going to drop on this place. That's what, what's that, 2 million, 200 million? Somewhere around that?
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Yeah. Yeah, but ultimately what? The Lord is finna turn this place into a desert, you know?
And then, on the side note too, we was going into, like the brother just read Joel 3:10, let the weak say I am strong. Just like recently I just did an article, India, they just did a successful nuclear hypersonic missile test. And then North Korea, even if, because you got South Korea, Japan, and the United States, they all clicked up against North Korea. What this shows you right there, it's heating up. Things are intensifying with this World War III. That's why North Korea, Iran, and these other nations as well too. They showing their nuclear capability.
Right.
Like it says, let the weak say I'm strong. And then you got these nations doing military drills, train exercise drills, purchasing military weapons, anti-tank missiles, defense mechanism systems and stuff like that. That's what shows you right there is getting up to the building stages of these nations. Let the weak say I am strong.
Right. Verse 11. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord." Right. And this is all the Lord is doing. The Lord is bringing these different nations down to the valley of YAHAWASHI, which is what? The Lord's judgment. Because what? The Lord is going to judge all these heathens, for the nation of Israel, for what they have done to our people. You can get Revelations 11 and 14. Right, that word woe means destruction. It says the second woe is past, which is World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is World War III. The Lord has constantly put, pieces in place ever since, World War II, all the way up until now, to get this third World War started. That's plain. World War III, it's going to happen. It's going ultimately what? It's going to turn into a nuclear war. You got anything to war? Yeah, you can get that Ezekiel. That's that Ezekiel 38 or 37?
38. And this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. Verse 1, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against God in the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Ezekiel 38. And thus saith the Lord, Yahawah thy power, behold, I am against thee, O God, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Right, because YAHAWASHI prophesied against Magog, Gog and Magog.
Yeah, what is modern day Gog and Magog? That's over there in Russia. Russia, it happens that whole area.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy claws, and I will bring thee forth, and all the armies and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling with swords.
Yeah, the Lord is putting hooks back into the jaws of Russia. Because what was Russia called back in the day? Was it the USSR?
Yeah, USSR.
Yeah, when Russia was at its most fierce. And the Lord is what? Bringing them back to what? Their prime.
Right, because you used to have Kazakhstan.
Yep.
Used to have Ukraine. Used to be part of the USSR.
Yep.
After they broke up with each other, I believe between 1992 and 1994. So that was the broke up of the USSR. You know.
Yeah, Khan. And the Lord is basically what? Turning them back around to what they once was. That fierce nation, that USSR. You know? And ultimately it's going to turn nuclear. You have anything else to watch?
Oh, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38,
back in Ezekiel.
verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, and them, all of them with shields and helmets, right? Because these modern day Persians, these Iranians, they going to join the war right along with Russia as well, too. Ethiopia, the Kushites, Libya, because modern day Libya is those Ishmaelites as well, too. Hey, they going to join up with them in this war that's about to kick off very soon.
Because what? Russia is really their big brother, you know? It's that big country protecting these smaller countries. What? So, like I said, what I read back in that Joel, let the weak say I'm strong. You know, these different countries got nuclear capability. You know, Russia's supplying their allies with these. You think Russia is not, supplying their allies with these different thermonuclear missiles? You know, the Lord has the Lord. Let's just continue. Let's just continue.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 6. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Tokmar of the north quarters, and all his bands with many people with thee, right? It's a modern day Turkish people. And they gonna get involved in this as well too. That's why he's seeing the increase of those Turkish operations over there in Iraq and Syria. You know, they going against the Kurds. But you know, the Turkish peoples and the Kurds, they don't get along with each other. Because they have they was a part of that that Elamite chick was taken into police custody. You know, they got rockets and drones targeting at them, you know.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's a stir up to that. You know? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 7. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself in all thy companies that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, right? Just like the brother mentioned with the Russians.
Yeah, Russia is basically their big brother, you know, protecting them, you know. So America just can't go to these smaller countries that's allied with Russia and they don't think, you know, Russia's not going to do anything about it. If America touch any of Russia's allies, you know, right then and there, you know, Russia is going to, you know, what's the word for it? It's going to kick back, you know, basically. So that was basically on that, wasn't it? That's all you had, I'm gonna get that Isaiah. I got one more, Isaiah 9 and 5. I'll wait till you get there. This is the book of Isaiah 9 and 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Right, so because what? You had an ancient world, you have mighty men battling with swords and shields. You know, that's that confused noise back in the ancient world, you know, the sound of shields hitting each other, different things like that. It says rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And what is that burning and fuel of fire? Those thermonuclear missiles. Because what? This war is going to be fought with those missiles. Actually, I want one more. I'm actually in the spirit now.
Yeah, I got another one as well too.
That second Ezra is 16. Let me actually get it. And that's the spirit. We actually went over this in camp. I'm gonna get that second Ezra 16 real quick. Okay. This is the book of second Ezra 16 and the 13. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Right. What I read back in that, it was that Isaiah 9 and 5. You know how I talk about this war shall be fought with burning and fuel of fire. And this is what that's talking about, those thermonuclear missiles. You know, it says, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Right, because in the scriptures, not only is the missiles described as stars, like you can read about in the book of Revelation, I believe it's the 6th chapter, but also they're described as what? Arrows. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. You know, a normal arrow can't do that, because you know you have a lot of simple people out here, man. A normal arrow can't do that. Right. You know, just a lot of these simple, dumbass people, man. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right. And this was ultimately what YAHAWASHI is going to bring. You had something real quick,
and this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be ye not terrified, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet by. Right, because we seeing the increased endless of proxy wars, endless wars, places like Yemen, places like all through the Middle East with the Palestinians versus the Israelis.
And might I add, every country in the middle, in the Middle East, it don't matter what, what you can read about, it's some type of, something's happening all throughout the Middle East. You can't look at a country and say something is not happening. It's something happening in every country, whether it be Jordan, whether it be Yemen, that's the brother was going into, whether it be Iran, whether it be Israel, whether it be Syria, Iraq, Syria. It's a lot of things going on in these different countries in the Middle East. Because what? Ultimately, YAHAWASHI is building up towards the Third World War. That's all you had up?
Yep.
So with that being said...
that Luke 21 and 12, Luke 21 and 25.
25? Okay, Khan. You may read it for you, Wako?
Yeah.
This is the book of Luke 21 and 25. It says, there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity of the sea, and the waves roaring.
Right, that's what you see. You see in the signs of heaven. You're seeing signs of heaven. And you're seeing distress of nations. Okay, but these nations are in an uproar against each other, against the people that's in leadership. And that's why you're seeing with the Iranian protests, and then you're seeing these other protests around the world taking shape as well too. These disgressive nations. Hey, these nations are disgressive with one another and against their leaders as well too. So hey, you're gonna have more continuing upwards in the people in the world. These nations rising up against one another, like the brother Alawani just said, and it's gonna continue. Hey, throughout the whole world, you see every nation that's going at it with one another, just like that book of Luke 12 and 51. Think not that I come to send peace on the earth,
but a sword.
And he's sending that great separation between the nations. That's why he's seeing other nations rising up against one another.
And it's gonna be bloody out here, man. Hey, you can read 25, 26 also.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 26.
So, 26.
This is the book of Luke 21 and 26. And a man's heart
belly, man.
A man's heart really them those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
And ultimately, they're going to be shaken by those missiles, man. And that's the end result, and that's the future of America, man. And it's been a long time coming, And the Lord is going to do it because what? The wickedness that went on in this place, the wickedness continue to go on in this place. As the scriptures say, my sword shall be bathed in heaven and shall come down upon Idumea. And that's the end result for the wicked and Esau evil. So that's all you had up?
Yeah.
So with that being said, we hope it was edifying. We're going to end up by giving all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, I want to say the elders and the apostles of the great millstone taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord willing, we hope this is edifying. Until next time, YAHAWAH. Shalom.